And I'm not even going to repeat to you what my mom said. Imagine a Jamaican talking about body odor. No. Hello, my beautiful besties. I hope you guys are doing fabulous today. If this is your first time here, my name is Shells. I cover fragrance, beauty, lifestyle, all the things. So if this sounds like your type of vibe, I welcome you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop me some comments down below so we can get to know each other. In today's video, I will be sharing my honest thoughts on the new fragrance from Armani, and it's called The Power of You. Before I dive into my thoughts on this fragrance, let me tell you, social media influenced me to get my nose on this fragrance. So once I got to the store, it was already out on display, and I was like, okay. I saw the bottle, which is a gorgeous, by the way, very, very beautiful, elegant looking bottle. It has, gold detailing on the side, and there is this little, pattern on the cap, almost looking like a ring. So I saw the bottle and I was like, wow, this looks very elegant. Honestly, I did not even do any research on this fragrance before going into Ulta, because I was like, you know what, I'm dying to find a fragrance that is gonna pique my interest. So I was convinced already that this would have been the one. So just for reference, this is the 90 ml, and this retails for $138, which quite frankly is not bad, because right now designer fragrances could run you anywhere from 180 all the way to in the 200s. Tell me why when I sprayed this fragrance, it was a love at first sniff. In the moment I said, finally, a fragrance that is worth buying. Finally, a fragrance that smells unique. Finally, a fragrance that is gonna steal the show for spring and summer. Now, this is marketed as a tropical scent, a gourmand, fruity scent. And I will say I do get all of those facets in this fragrance. So, besties, I sprayed this on the tester strip and I was like, yes. You know what? Let me read the notes that are in this fragrance. So there's passion fruit, bitter orange, lemon, frangipani, solar notes, Madagascar vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum. We know that passion fruit is a tropical, maybe island type of fruit that is a very tart, almost leaning sour, has a very distinct taste and a very distinct smell. And I know that because I grew up around passion fruit. When you spray this fragrance, you do get a beautiful burst of that passion fruit. It's very tart, almost sour, but how it's mixed in with the frangipani and all the other notes that are in here smells beautiful. And I said, yes. So on the tester strip, immediately it was a yes. So I said, okay, let me spray this on my skin to see what it develops into. So I sprayed it on my skin, and for maybe the first 5 to say 10 minutes, it smelled beautiful. I was stuck at the opening. I was like, oh my goodness, this is gorgeous, because I don't think I own any fragrance that has the note of passion fruit. So I was very excited, and while walking around in the store, I was still getting whiffs of that passion fruit. So the passion fruit is there throughout the fragrance. It doesn't go away. But as it started to dry down, it started to get deeper, and that vanilla started to come through. It started to get very warm and sweet from the vanilla and the labdanum that is in the base. So I was like, okay, so I see what you're trying to do here. You start out very tart and fresh, and then you dry down into something a bit more sweet and, sultry, almost deep and warm. I took this fragrance and I was like, yeah, cash me out, please. Also, what, kind of pushed me to buy this fragrance was the fact that I'm a platinum member at Ulta, and I was getting $50 off. So I was like, I cannot leave this fragrance. So I went to the register and I cashed this out, like, bag me up, please, and let me go. But then as I was, walking around the store, I kept sniffing my hand. And I was like, hold on, like, is this in my mind? I was like, what's going on here? Something started to change, and I was convincing myself that I was not smelling what I was smelling, because I'm like, ain't no way. I finally found the fragrance of the summer, of the spring. So I still went against what I was smelling, and I was like, no, this fragrance has to work for me. It's a love. I need it in my collection. Me no care what me I smell, me want it. And then I bought the fragrance, and as I went outside and I sat in my car, I kept smelling my hand, and I'm like, what is going on here? So I went back to work, and, the scent started to get worse. And I was like, oh my God. I, went back to my desk, and I got up and I went to my colleague and I said to her, smell this, not giving her any background information whatsoever. She was like, this smell like dirty armpits, just to put it the nice way, because we started talking in Jamaican right away. She was like, this doesn't smell good. I kept smelling my arm. Besties, when I tell you, this fragrance turns so funky on my skin. I was like, how did we leave from this being a bright, beautiful, passion fruit, tart, sweet, vacation-esque, sultry, sexy type of scent, to you smelling like the worst rancid armpit on my skin? Honestly, I was so heartbroken, like I could cry. I said, maybe it's just mixing with some of the other fragrances that I sprayed on my skin. So I tried it on this arm. And I'm telling you, the opening for the first maybe 5 minutes, this scent is beautiful. And then as it started to dry down, as the base notes started to come in, that funky body odor, sweaty type of smell started to come through again. And I said, I am not having it. Something must be wrong with my nose. And I sprayed this on my colleague's arm because I was adamant that this fragrance had to work for me. Sprayed it on her arm too, child. And for the first couple of minutes too, she was like, oh, but it's not turning funky on me. She was enjoying it too. You see, once it hit that 10-15 minute mark, she was like, oh my God. The funkiest, stinkiest armpits you could imagine is what this turned out to be on my skin. And then it did the same thing for her. And as it started to dry down, like deep in the dry down, it got 10 times worse. When I tell you, we had to go to the restroom and use the hand soap to scrub this off of our skin, and it would not budge. So if you love this fragrance and it works for you, you're not gonna have any issues with this fragrance lasting on your skin. But I am telling you, this fragrance is beautiful. But I'm gonna say this with every fiber of my being. Before you say yes to this fragrance and all of its gorgeousness, please test this on your skin to see what it changes into. I don't know what it is. When it starts to get funky, I'm still smelling that passion fruit with the vanilla and something. I don't know what in there, what went wrong with the composition. But once this hits skin, for me at least, for my colleague, I did not stop there. I brought this fragrance home and I said, no, I tried it on my mom and I tried it on my husband, and it turned funky on all of us. So it is not me. I don't know what's going on with this fragrance. And I'm not even going to repeat to you what my mom said. Imagine a Jamaican talking about body odor. No. When I tell you I am so disappointed, I did not expect this, because I'm telling you, this was a love at first sniff for me, and that rarely ever happens. This is so beautiful. If this fragrance works for you and you pick up on that beautiful, sultry sexiness that I got in the opening, you're gonna have a field day with this fragrance. I'm bringing this back with such a heavy heart because I was convinced that this would have been the fragrance for me. And I'm telling you, I have been so underwhelmed with a lot of the new releases that when I saw this one and I sprayed it and the initial scent that I got, I was so excited. I had no problem spending my coins on this. Like, it was a yes. When I said yes, I did not go for the 50 ml. I got the big dog, the big bottle. Like, I had to say to my colleague, it's not my armpits, I promise you. That's how funky this smells on my skin. Don't take this as, I'm bashing this fragrance, because it's gonna work for some people. This fragrance is beautiful, perfect if you're looking for a beautiful, fruity, sultry, juicy, tart type of date night scent. This is beautiful. I see this going very nice on vacation. This is everything and more. If you have this fragrance, if you've been in store, if you've tested it and it doesn't work for you, let me know down in the comments, because I was convinced that it was something with me. And it took for me to try this on 3 different body chemistry to finally accept that it is not me. Sadly, I'm going to have to take this back, because I can't even say, okay, gift it to my mom, because it turned funky on her too. I want to know, what this fragrance gave you, what your experience is with it, what, your thoughts, just everything. I want to know. Sound off down in the comments, and I will see you in another video. Bye.